Hey Dylan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's good to finally put a name to the face. Um, how is everything over there?
It's going good.
Good, good. All right, so I'm gonna just jump right in because I'm pretty sure you know or you're wondering why we're here today. So I'm sure you're dying to know. So let me just tell you exactly why I'm visiting with you. And what I'm going to be doing. So my job is to go over some of the no cost benefits that you already have set up for you. Then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you might qualify for. You may know of our company of American Income, and we work with over 20,000 different local labor unions, credit unions, and associations throughout the United States. And I know whether you like unions or you don't like them, the thing everyone can agree is that they do have the best benefits. And the big reason for that is just because of the relationship with American Income for the past 60 years. So you can imagine that they have me around like crazy, running around like crazy. So let me just go ahead and start and jump right into your no cost benefits. So Dylan, the very first no cost benefit to you is the Child Safe ID kits. Now I know you mentioned you had one daughter and one son.
hmm
Um, Great. So our Child Safe ID Kit mobile app, which is endorsed by the International Union of Police Associations, and I'm sure you know a bunch of families with kids, right?
Yep.
Great, great. Do you know that Texas leads in the nation in abductions? And did you know that about 93% of the children that are not found in the first 24 hours are honestly never found? That's why they decided to create the most comprehensive app of its kind, and it helps find the missing children. So we'll get that downloaded. I'll help you download that. And I can actually send you. Do you have iPhone or do you
I
have
do.
an Android?
Yeah, and I got the app downloaded and all my information put in.
Great. All right. So I can get you that set up with that. Just because imagine if your children went missing, can you see how important this would be being the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Association? They are asking that we get at least, this program out to families, at least 5 families for this app, So you mentioned you have family and friends earlier about that also have children. And when we present this to them and we bring these, when we bring this out to this information to you, um everyone always wants to give dozens of people that they know that are close to them with children. But let's just start with the closest ones that you may know. Who would you like to list down first, Dylan?
Let's do my mom. Her name is
Okay.
Diana.
And her phone number?
979-832-2145.
Perfect. Next person?
We'll do my sister Lacey. 832-423-5134.
Perfect. Next one.
We'll do my dad. His name is Brent, and his number is 325-721-4316.
Perfect. All right, next one.
We'll do my stepsister, Monica, and her number's 325-669-0899.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna make these 4 members that are close to you definitely a priority. Do you have another member that you would like to list down?
That's pretty much all I've got off the top of my
Okay,
head.
perfect. Great. All right. So let's go ahead. And once you get that app downloaded, what I can do is I can get you that. It's gonna ask you for a QR code. I can get that sent over to you. Um,
Okay, great. Yeah, I just got it from you. Perfect.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Dylan, the next no cost benefit to you, I want sorry, I can't talk today. The next no cost benefit to you I want to go over with is actually our AIL plus discount card. So how are your benefits through work, Dylan?
They're all right.
Good. Okay, so great. So you're gonna absolutely love this. I'm sure you know by now that you can't really rely on group benefits since you don't control them and they could change at any time. So this no cost benefit will help you with some of those gaps by giving you up to 85% discounts on like things like dental, vision, prescription drugs, hearing aids, telemedicine, chiropractor visits. So your membership requires an annual renewal, and that's also a no cost to you. We'll let you know when it's time to renew. You won't have to even think about it. People always tell me that they didn't they didn't think that they'd use it very much, but you'd really find that people actually use it quite often, and they actually are pretty surprised. Again, this no cost is good to get the extra peace of mind. You'll receive an activation email within the next few days. So be on the lookout for that. And also, that is another app that we can get you, I can get you sent over. So you can download that. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, Dylan. So let's go over the next no cost benefit to you. So this no cost benefit to you, this no cost is the accidental and death dismemberment. So this is a certificate that we sent to you. Let's see here. Let me get that pulled up so I can just a minute. And I'm actually gonna probably email that to you here in just a minute.
Okay.
Um, so Dylan, for example, this is a living benefit that pays you $2,000 for losing one hand, foot, or the side of one eye, and then double the amount, which would be 4,000 if you lost 2 feet. You know, and then so sorry, your wife would, if your wife was I didn't even ask you her name.
Hannah.
If your wife, she would get the death benefit that would pay you the 4,000 if pay her, I'm sorry, the 4,000 if you, Dylan, would have to die in an accident. Now I know that 4,000 really doesn't seem like a lot of money in the world. I know, and it really isn't. But now, if Dylan was to die, there would be his paycheck, would go with him, and I imagine that would put a little bit of a crunch in your budget, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you can see how this would this benefit would really help out. So
Yeah,
let me go.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So let me go ahead and get that certificate emailed to you for your records. Let's see here. You'll receive a green certificate in the mail, and then you want to fill that out completely and then send it to the appeal box at the top of the certificate, and then keep that endorsed for your records.
Okay.
All right, here. So Dylan, one more thing I need to go ahead and do is for the AD&D certificate is put down 2 emergency contacts on here. In the event that you were to die, you and your wife were to die in a common accident, it would be wise if they live in Texas, your emergency contacts, and if they were the age of 18. Of course, living outside of your home. So who is the first person that would come into mind for an emergency contact?
Let's do her sister Tara.
Okay.
Her number's 817-323-5432.
All right. And the second one?
We'll use my mom, which you've already got hers.
And that's Diane, correct?
Uh-huh.
Right. Perfect. That number was 972. Go back here and look. Oh, perfect. I have it here. Awesome.
Perfect.
Now, when something happens, you're going to need our local office number. Can you grab a piece of paper or your phone and I'll get that office number to you?
Okay.
Okay, the office number is 832
hmm
327
hmm
0800.
Perfect.
Perfect. So Dylan, your family's getting the money they're entitled to. And I'm going to be calling your emergency contacts personally so they know what to do in the event of a claim. So if you could please give them a heads up that that I'll be reaching out to them, and that they'll be hearing from me. That way that if I call them and they're like, wait a minute, like not in shock, like what's going on. In addition, uh, if they choose to if they choose to go with these benefits, they will have access to them. Um, let's see here. And then in the long run, they'll definitely thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. Sorry, my computer's being slow down. All right, now Dylan, this policy is just on you, but the second part of this benefit is that you can extend this to your closest family members and friends at no cost to you or to them. So how this works, let's say God forbid, that Tara were to die in an accident, a 2000 policy just like yours will pay out in her name, her family, at no cost to them. Um, all you're doing is giving them the option to take advantage of it, just like you did. The ability to extend this is tied to my visit with you today, because of because of your enrollment period. So it's just important that not to not to I can't say that word. Not to predict anyone's situation. So let me decide for them and let them decide for themselves. Um, Now they gave you 20,000 worth of these benefits, which means you can extend it up to about 10 family members. Um, Obviously, your emergency contacts will automatically be included. So let's see, Tara would already let's see. So Tara would all be already taken care of because I'm going to go ahead and contact her. That leaves you about 8 more that you mentioned that you had. Let's get this to her, and then I'm not here. Just a minute. Let me get this pulled up here. Okay, Dylan. So now I'm going to jump into reviewing the exclusive benefits that you must qualify for. All the families that I see love this part of the program, and that's why 20,000 different groups handpick American Income to handle their permanent can't talk permanent and portable benefits for the for the past 60 years. So let me go ahead and jump right into that. So the best part um, about this is that you get full access to the same exclusive benefits that groups like police officers, firefighters, and unions have had access to without having to pay the big amounts. So let's go ahead to so Dylan, first let's start with the needs analysis software. The reason most people don't have the right coverage is that they don't know what they need. In a few minutes and after I review with you, you will definitely know where you're at. I'm going to ask a few questions and see where you're at. Before I do, I'd like to show you my license information here in the state of Texas. Get that pulled up for you. So just so you know that I am licensed professional, handle this kind of benefits. And before I jump into that survey, I have three primary qualifications to review with you. The first one, you must be a member of the authorized group or sponsored in by someone who is. And then the second one, you must have an active checking account with the bank or a credit union. Finally, the third one here, you do have you or anyone in the household been diagnosed with COVID, with the COVID virus in the past? Let's see, and if so, when?
No, we haven't.
Haven't. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna get some information from you then, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with that. All right, so I'm gonna put your name down here. And your last name was Rankin, was that right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your date of birth, Dylan?
12/27/93.
And just to verify, you do live in the state of Texas, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, Dylan. So you might hear a video in the background. Just kind of disregard that. Um, unless you want to watch it.
It's okay.
All right. Most of our clients don't want to watch the whole thing just because it is a short video, but we kind of explain everything. Due to the value. There it goes. Okay. All right, Dylan, do you have I know we have your email address here, but could you verify that email address for me?
Yeah, it's Dylan@yahoo.com.
And phone number?
325-721-3259.
Perfect. And your address?
601 County Road 137, Moran, Texas 76464.
said Grand.
Moran. Moran.
Okay. All right. And what was your spouse's name, Dylan?
Hannah. Hannah.
And that was Rankin.
Mm-hmm.
And her date of birth.
1/30/95.
And your child's name, preferably start with the oldest one.
Gannon. Gannon.
All right. And date of birth.
4/30/15.
And the next one, next child.
Hattie. Hattie. And then May. Mae. It's gonna be all. Yeah, I guess you'll have to put it as all one name.
Oh, Mae. Okay. And that's your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her birthday is 4/30/18.
Perfect. Let's see here. There. And now, Dylan, what would you say your monthly income would be?
Mine would be probably about 4,000.
And does Hannah work?
Yeah, she does.
Okay. What would her monthly income be?
About 3,500.
Okay. And do you currently have insurance through work, Dylan? And if so, about how much do you think it currently is?
No, I don't.
You don't have life insurance? Okay, great. That's all right. Do you have any other life insurance outside of work?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you own your home or do you rent?
We own it.
Okay. Do you know what that mortgage balance is roughly?
About 197,000.
And how many years do you have remaining on that?
About 20.
Almost got that paid for.
Getting there.
Do you have any savings that are for your kids' college, future college?
No, we don't.
And let's see here. You do have a checking account, correct?
Yes, yeah, we do.
All right. Let me just go ahead and submit this information you gave me, and Just gonna do a quick analysis and then I'll go over the rest here. Sorry, our computer's being really slow today. My computer's being really slow. We got some lightning in the area, and I think it's gonna.
Makes everything run slow, huh?
Yeah, especially here in Texas, West Texas. Once the wind picks up, everything starts dropping. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read over this with you real quick, or read the two. Well, sorry, read this to you real quick. What it is, it's our mandatory read-off letter. So before I go into any further details, it looks like the needs analysis found some gaps in your coverage. So I have this mandatory read-off letter for you. It explains how the enrollment process works. And I'll show you that here. Dylan, instead of reading this whole thing, would it okay if I just memorize it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it basically is saying is that if, as I'm going through the benefits, you're nodding your head, thinking, "Wow, these are some great benefits," and I can see why 20,000 groups approve this and why everyone is doing it, then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to apply today. On the flip side, if I'm going through the benefits and you're thinking to yourself, these really aren't, these really are some great benefits, but they don't feel a need, but I'm sorry, but you don't feel a need for me and my family right now, then I'm actually going to ask you to not apply. Either way, yes or no, the decision does have to be made today during the survey period. In fairness to all the members waiting to enroll, you'll see that you'll see what they did is that they set it up to be a no-brainer. It is going to be an easy yes or a no, but that, like I said, that decision does have to be made today. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So whatever you decide to do, they do want you to go ahead, to give you the option in a Google review, which is sort of like my report card. I try to do a 5-star rating every time, so it is important to stop me if you have any questions. Does that make sense, Dylan?
Yes.
Okay. So what we'll do is, let's see here. Let's see. You'll stop me if you have any questions, and then Mary, will you do the same? I'm sorry, Hannah, will you please do the same?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the list of concerns with you. Let's see here, and I'll get that pulled up here. As you know, over the years, we go through contracts. We go through contract negotiations and benefit changes at work. It's a give and a take. Lately, it seems like we are paying a lot more, but getting a lot less. And as you can tell, that's mostly anywhere. So the company has a labor advisory board with over 50 international union presidents, whose main job is to provide the best wages and benefits for their members. So from their feedback, along with feedback from the members like yourself, they came up with the list of concerns that apply to all working families, whether you're a union or not. So the first concern, let me get that here. Sorry, there it goes. So the first concern to most family members is the copay, deductibles, and lost wages. So how's your health insurance through work, Dylan?
It's okay.
Okay, good. So no matter how good it is, there's always usually gaps that aren't covered, and doctors and hospitals are doing great. They have seen the doctors parking. Uh, wait, hold have you seen the doctor's parking lots?
Yeah, yeah.
We're pretty busy. But when you and someone in your family is hurt or injured, there are lots of wages as well as out-of-pocket expenses, and that health insurance doesn't cover it. And I'm sure you've experienced that. Um, so the next concern, Dylan, is the funeral and final expenses. Have you dealt with a funeral lately?
Yeah, it was a while back.
Oh man, I'm so sorry about that. So whose funeral was it, if I may ask?
It was my grandpa's funeral.
So it was somebody close to you, and you got to experience that firsthand. So what was it like?
It was, I mean, it was not pleasant.
Yeah. And were you involved with the financial side of it, Dylan?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. And so you roughly know how much it costs, right?
Yeah, I think it was around like 18,000, something like that.
Yes. So funerals are definitely expensive right now. Um, so that's usually how much they're running in Texas. I'm sorry, that's how much funerals are usually running in Texas. So on average, all things considered, it ends up costing at least 14,000. And that's mostly, I believe, is possibly like for the basic things. Um, so on average, all things considered, like I said, it's about 14. And funeral homes want their money immediately. And this creates a lot of stress on the surviving family members. So most families don't have that kind of money just laying around. I know I don't. And even if they did, they didn't set it aside for that. Um, so the next concern is paycheck loss, Dylan. Obviously, no matter how great your benefits are through work, they won't keep a paycheck coming, of course,
Mhm.
into the home once you're gone. So this is a huge concern for surviving. So for like your spouse and your children, of course. Um, and I know I'm pretty sure no matter what, your wife's definitely going to want to continue providing food for your kids. Um, so the next concern, Dylan, is the mortgage. Of course, and you said I'm sorry, y'all own. Um, Aside from the emotional trauma that an unexpected death causes, having to have this survivor, your spouse and your kids, move out from their home makes everything so much worse. So they wanted to make sure that when there's something happens to you, um, we wouldn't have it wouldn't happen to the family we visit. I'm sorry, to your family. The next concern is the children's protection. So due to the fact that work benefits don't provide any permanent coverage for kids or protection for kids' future due to the loss of one or both parents, they want to make sure that they had something in place for them. So kids are most vulnerable to expense service consequences from the death of a parent, and that's why this was a top priority. Sorry, just the list can goes on. So, the next concern would be terminal illness such as cancer. Right now in the United States, for men, there's a 1 in 2 chance of developing or dying from cancer. For women, it's 2 out of 3 until the age of 65, and then after that, it kind of goes from 1 out of 2. So it's the leading cause of bankruptcy due to the illness, and it is devastating for families. Let's see. The final one is the group benefits. So group benefits are for a group, but individuals all have different needs. Most importantly, you cannot rely on the group benefits because you don't own these benefits. So believe it or not, aside from retirement, people can lose benefits if they are unemployed. Or if they have a long illness before death. So they wanted to make sure that you had permanent benefits that weren't tied to a workplace. So let's see. So the last concern is the biggest concern. So let me go to that one here. Just a minute here. Okay, Dylan. So the final concern is affordability. Now, to take care of all these concerns, it is usually just way too expensive since we sit down with people making 7 an hour and some making 77 an hour. Some are working tons of overtime, some are retired, or some are laid off. So, regardless of situation, they want this to be affordable for everyone. The way they set it up is Dylan, let's imagine your boss comes up to you at work and tells you that because things haven't been going well, they would start paying, they're going to go ahead and start paying you for 41 hours instead of 40 hours. Now, with that hour, are you going to tell your wife it's time for matching, let's see, matching Ferraris? Or are you going to call a travel agent and book a dream vacation?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so start construction on a dream home.
No.
Okay, so of course not, right? And now on the flip side, let's say work's a little slow and your boss comes up to you and tells you that instead of laying you and some of your coworkers off, they would just send everyone home and an hour early every Friday. So you'd be working about 39 hours instead of 40 now, right?
Mhm.
So would you have to get rid of your car or cell phone?
No.
Okay. Would you have to cancel your TV subscription?
No.
Okay, exactly. So the idea is that 1 hour isn't going to change your lifestyle. So that's why the setup is this way. So let me show you how that 1 hour takes care of your concerns here. So Dylan, Dylan, it would help if I use an illustration to show you what's been set up for you. So let me just get that here. I'd like to share my screen with you so that you can see what I'm looking at here on my end.
Okay.
So give me just a minute. Let me share that with you. All right, Dylan, can you see that? Can you see my screen here?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm looking at here is the numbers that we've plugged in, and I'd like to go over these with you.
Okay.
All right, so so Dylan, let's imagine that you go into work tomorrow, right? And right now you are both going to look at job A, which is, let's see, which is the job here on the left. Sorry, let me get that pulled up on my end here. Okay. And so on the left, job 8, as you can see, it's showing that you're making 1,475 per week. Can you see that?
Mhm.
So let's say another amount, I'm sorry. So let's say another job opens up and we'll call that job B. With job B, you have the same group benefits, same coworkers, same responsibilities, same everything. The only difference is the income. So instead of getting that 1475 per week, we're gonna mark that as 1435 per week, which is about 1 hour wage difference. So, which, like you said before, wouldn't change anything for you, but they took that hour that didn't mean much and they decided to put it towards something that would, which is handling these concerns in a very simple and straightforward way. So now let's take a look. Do you see where the next line where it says the accidental, sorry. Give me just a minute. My screen froze. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I said before, health insurance and the group benefits are great, but they don't cover everything. So this program pays up to, as you can see here on the first line, pays 100 every time you go into the doctor, urgent care, or are hospitalized for an accident or an injury. So whether that's a bump or a bruise or a bee sting, if you end up overnight in the hospital, it pays $200 per day. And that doubles, I'm sorry, and that double that, I'm sorry, I can't even talk, for the intensive care. So that for the intensive care would be 400 per day. So let's just say that you have an accident, right, and end up in the hospital for 5 days. But having this in place, it would pay up to 1,000 tax free. Considering that you're not working and making money, this money will help take care of those bills in the meantime that you're out. So let's see. So how does that sound so far?
Sounds pretty good.
Okay, so and on top of that, great. And on top of that, you'll be getting that 10,000 for the loss of the hand or foot or sight in the if you know if that was to happen in the accident, and it doubles to 2,000. I'm sorry, 20,000 for the loss of any two. So the last part of this benefit provides an additional 20,000 to 100,000 in accidental or death, depending just on the type of accident. As you can see, which with your current job, none of this is covered.
Okay.
Here. So Dylan, if you take a look at the next line, it's the final expense benefit. The next concern, I'm sorry, this next concern has to do with the funeral and final expenses. There's 100% chance that you'll use this one. The Freedom Choice Certificate, and I'll show you a picture of that. It's right here. Will take care of that financial burden, so your family doesn't have to. The I'm sorry, the freedom of choice has already been set up for I'm sorry, with every funeral home. Your freedom of choice certificate is worth 30,000. So the funeral home director will simply call the number on the front of the certificate, and the American Income will take care of everything for you, including spending and excluding spending the remaining money to your family's tax free. They are using a permanent benefit to fund the freedom choice. That way it's there when and not if your family needs it. So Hannah, on the worst day of your life, you can see how this would make a big difference and make everything a little bit easier for you. Right now, you don't have anything like that in place. So we would definitely like to get that in place. So let's take a look at the next line if you can still see this. So the mortgage, let's get the census income. So Dylan, besides your income, the next thing people want secured for their family is their home. So I know that you probably don't want your family to go homeless if anything were to happen to you. So that's exactly why the benefit software is recommended. So for a mortgage or for rent protection, this program is including 100 of coverage. I'm sorry, 100,000 of coverage for you, Dylan. Statistically, if you were to die during the working year, it's probably not going to be the healthiest situation, like a stroke, heart attack. It'd probably be due to an accident. So this is funded by an accidental death benefit to save money. Let's see here. So right now, with your current job, they aren't going to pay that mortgage, of course, or the rent when something happens to you, but this program will. And then on the next one, on the next screen here, you can see that the child, let's see, the benefit software has also found that I'm sorry, can you talk? The next concern is the benefit software found had to do with your child's future education. So Dylan, most families I see tell me that they want their kids to have the opportunity to go to college. Statistically, the biggest thing that would prevent that is for your kids is the loss of one or both parents while they are minors. The benefit software is giving you 100,000 for college funds, which breaks it down to 50,000 each for each of you. I'm sorry, for each of your children. And you said you have two children, right?
Mhm.
All right, huge. So as you can see right now, you don't have that, as we talked earlier, but this is setting it in place. So this will also include a special 10,000 life insurance plan for your children. And that's the children, that would be for the children that are 18 years and younger, that only qualify. When they turn 21, what they can do is convert this to this 10,000, 5 times the amount. So that would be 50 for permanent life insurance with no health questions asked. Having this in place may be their key to getting coverage later on, when they may otherwise not be able to qualify. So your current group benefits don't provide that for them, um, for your children at the moment. And then here another one is that another important feature of this program is that if you are diagnosed with a terminal illness such as cancer, you can have access to half of the freedom choice and income protection benefit while you are alive. So they are providing you with 65,000 for this fund. Dylan, this gives you the chance to put the family in the best situation financially if you get the worst news imaginable. So the reminder, reminder of the benefits would pay out to your family as a death benefit. Your currently benefit doesn't provide anything like this, as you can see. So they thought of everything pretty much. Let's see. The next one here is, unlike your current group benefit, which you can lose at any time, these benefits are permanent and portable. So if you leave your job, retire, or leave the union, you can keep these benefits. In addition, if you are on a qualified layoff, they will cover the benefits for about 3 months. If you're ever in a situation where you have a qualified strike, if you were in a union, I'm sorry, if you're in a union, it's up to 12 months. So this way you and your family won't lose the benefits when you really need them. So by the way, you never have to pay that back. So let's look here. So Dylan, now that I've reviewed everything with you, I'm sure you can see why 2,000 groups choose this program above all others, and why more families have our program than other companies because of the value and the full circle of protection it provides. So Dylan, if something were to happen to you, like a bad car accident, do you feel your family would receive, I'm sorry, your family would receive the, let's see here, 370,000 tax free, um, all for about 1 hour wage per week with your current job. So there is no guarantee that your family would receive anything at all. So let's see. So let me, right, Dylan. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I want to go ahead and jump over here to the checklist here. Give me just a minute. Let me pull that up. Okay, so Dylan, if you went to work tomorrow and you had the choice between job A and job B, which job would you take?
Job B.
Okay, why would you do that if you're making more money over here at job A?
Because of the benefits.
Right, that's right. So that's what everyone says. And it's of course it's a no-brainer. So so everyone wants these benefits, but not everyone can get the benefits. So as I mentioned before, I do have to get you qualified first. So let me go ahead and run through these questions and let's see if you can qualify. Sounds good. Let me see. Let me get that pulled up. So I'm going to ask you a real quick question, Dylan. Has any proposed insurance ever been treated or advised to be treated for alcoholism or alcohol abuse, including memberships in AA, or ever been advised by a physician to reduce alcohol consumption?
No, ma'am. And I answered all the rest of those questions.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm not the underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like I should be able to get you qualified for the benefits. So let's get. Okay, so we've answered all of these here. So Dylan, the program is set up on a once a month computerized deduction through your banking system.
Mhm.
Having it done this way gains you the discount rate. So your program is going to only be 200 per month. This can be handled anytime between the dates of, let's see, the 2nd and the 16th of the month. What day is best for you?
Let's make it the second.
2nd, okay. Yeah. Perfect. So remember that draft dates cannot be on the, oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. 2nd, okay, perfect. Sorry, it's thundering here. It's kind of scaring me there for a minute. Okay, so because this is a member-owned program and once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer. There is an application process which we started with the health questions. In addition, this will be signed electronically. So after we complete the application, you will receive an email through DocuSign and or have remote access through Zoom, through which you will confirm the the accuracy of the information and that you are agreeing to the electronic signature. These applications just have to um, uh, I'm sorry, these applications just as if they were being signed, you were being signed, I'm sorry, the owner. Let's see here. So the enrollment process usually takes anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks. If approved, you will review your you will review your policies in the mail and I'm sorry, you will receive your policies in the mail and congratulation letter welcoming you to an AIL. Can't talk anymore. So obviously with these benefits, you're conditionally covered from the moment our call ends. So the first bank draft happens immediately within the first 24 to 84 hours. I'm sorry, 48 hours of the application. So your bank may not reflect that draft for up to 10 days. So please ensure that the funds are in there to be so that the funds are covered. So your first premium is going to be $200 and I'm sorry, 205. There is a policy fee for the application. But that will be a one-time fee, I'm sorry. It itemized. So we'll need to complete the application process. Driver's license. Here. We'll complete the application process by getting the driver's license number, your your doctor's information, any meds that you take, and then your banking information.
Okay.
So at some point in everyone's life, so at some point in everyone's life, they become uninsurable and would be declined for insurance. This is usually due to either age, health, or habits. Once you are uninsurable, you typically can't get insurance again. If you are approved, there are three possible outcomes. First, you could be approved standard due to having minor or no health issues. The second option is that we can fall somewhere in between perfect health and the uninsurable line. Because the group we are working with wants to everyone to be approved, they create a category called special risk, where the program would be a few dollars more per month. In the category, you would pay exactly what someone else would pay for the same health profile. Obviously, the closer you are to the uninsurable line, the more the program would be. Um, so so think of this like a car insurance. Someone with a perfect driving record wouldn't pay the same amount as someone with a lot of speeding tickets. Um, the third option is the counter offer. They make it they make this offer for someone that they may not have covered in the past, as that last chance to be covered. If the program comes back different than what it is discussed, I will call you and let you know if that happened. If that happened, would the few extra dollars be a problem for you?
No, that should be fine.
Okay, perfect. So you may receive one or more phone calls asking to review the questions I have asked to ensure that everything is accurate on the application. So in order to approve your policy, the company may need to help in getting additional records or medical information from your physician. So in order to approve you, the company may send out a medical professional to conduct a physical in the privacy of your own home and at no cost to you, of course. Um, it is important to be prepared to be responsive during the approval process. And you will also be receiving an email from the DocuSign, or I will give you a remote access to the Zoom so that you can do that through Zoom.
Perfect.
All right, so let's go ahead and review the benefits to ensure there is no confusion. Let me get the summary should reflect that.
We did that.
Okay, perfect. Hold on. So let's go here. All right, Dylan. So almost everyone takes advantage of this program, like you, because of the value and the cost of, and the cost is very small compared to the many benefits. Um, Now it's very rare, but sometimes a member cancels. It could be a week, a month, or at least a year later, and we end up seeing these same people the next service period. That could be 1 to 2 years later, and they're upset because they're no further ahead than they were. So most people end up wanting to reapply for the benefits. The problem is that now the program is more expensive because they're older. So worse yet, some people can't even get into it anymore just because of their health has changed. So the point is that this is not a short-term fix. It's a long-term fix. So it's a long-term solution. And the longer you are into the program, the more valuable it is. So if this 200 is uncomfortable for you right now, let's fix it while I'm here. How does everything feel?
Feels good.
Good, good. Okay, awesome. So then please make sure that to keep the important program, this important program in place for your family. And the next time I see you, you'll be really happy that you did. And I think we got everything set up. Dylan, thank you so much for your time. I know it's late, and I know that it took a while, but I hope you have a good rest of your night. And again, thank you, and I hope that everything works out.
Thank you.